Hi, welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I am Dr. Christine Fusilier. Today, we're going to continue our Mastermind series on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I'm going to share with you some of the myths about leadership, as well as some of the leadership characteristics that are needed to be a successful leader. We're going to start with the myths. And the myths are in 5 categories. It breaks down to number 1 is management. Often people believe that someone who's a good manager, it equates to them being a leader, which is never the case. A manager has the ability to go in and make sure tasks are getting done in a timely manner. They're also very good at policy and procedure, but they lack what is essential in this law that we're talking about today is the law of influence. They don't have the ability to influence people to get their buy-in to the vision or the mission of the organization and or of the department. So number 2 is entrepreneurship. Often we believe that people who own their own business are great leaders, and that is not necessarily the case either. Because we can use the example I shared with you all last week about Dick and Maurice McDonald. They were able to start up a business and it was successful, but they weren't able to expand that because they didn't have the ability to influence people. Influence is such a key characteristic and skill that for a leader, for them to be able to progress forward. Another one is knowledge. Now, I've always believed that knowledge is power, and it's only powerful if you share it. But one thing as I learned through this chapter was something that he pointed out that neither IQ or education equates to leadership. Again, because of the influence factor. An example of that would be you have people who are great writers, they're great researchers, but however, they may lack the ability to influence people to lead them. So that was very eye-opening for me. The other one is a pioneer. Often we believe that the people who were the first to do everything are good leaders, which is not necessarily the case. And often we think about how did they become the first to do it. They may have the ability to go out there and venture out, but that does not make them a leader because you're the one in front or you are the one who first did something. Not to take away from that, but it doesn't mean you have the ability to get other people to go along with you. So that's very interesting. And then the last myth was position. We often equate leadership with the position that we hold. If you held a grand position such as president or vice president, people automatically assume that you are a good leader. And positioning, the title that you hold does not equate to your ability to lead. Again, if you can't influence people, you cannot lead them. And sometimes the position can be a peer leadership. It can also be leading from the back. So you don't necessarily have to carry a title in order for you to be a good leader. So I hope that was helpful. The next things we're going to talk about is the leadership characteristics that we expect, or maybe not characteristics, more as some people may consider them as qualifications, if you will. So the first one is to have character. I'm just going to go through the list, and then if you have questions, you can definitely ask. And also, if you wanted me to expand on different ones, please note in the comments below. So they are what leadership is having character, having the ability to establish relationships and connections with people. That is so important. To be able to connect with people, you then have the ability to have some influence over them. How many times have we followed people who we believe in because we have some type of connection with them? Also, knowledge of how to use it and how to use it to help influence people. Like I said earlier, knowledge is power, but it's only powerful if you use it. And that power can be used to help influence other people and get them to give their buy-in, and they will also follow you. The other one is intuition. So that's a sense of either something's right or something's wrong here. And sometimes you go, and some people call it their gut instinct. You can go by, there's an intuition that's telling me either this is the right person for this position, or this is the right person for the promotion, or this is the right person to partner with. The intuition is key for a leader to have because sometimes it helps them make a really good decision. Experience. We also want to think about the experience of a leader. That is so important. Some people believe that you don't necessarily have to have experience in leadership and or sometimes in that industry, but in some cases it's vital. I would use political politics, for example. It's important that you have some kind of experience in that field, so because you have to understand the bigger picture and how wide that scope can span from. Also, you also want experience with someone because it speaks to their credibility. For example, if you wanted to get your car oil changed in your car, are you going to go to get it done by a librarian or a mechanic? So the experience does make a difference. Past successes. Think about a leader who you've seen them continually have success. Now, sometimes it's not always successful, but they do have a measure of success and they have some successful things that they have accomplished. Then that will speak to, again, their credibility and the last piece, their ability. Their ability to lead people and influence them to buy into whatever the mission or the vision for that organization is. It's extremely critical. It's not the people who have positions that make it, and if they do, sometimes people will only follow you because of the title. And do you really want to be that kind of leader? They only follow you because you're in position, otherwise, they wouldn't. The strongest leader is the person who can influence people that there's not a direct report or there's not a overarching, like a subordinate relationship with them. That's the best type of leader because they can lead from all sides. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have questions, comments, thoughts, please put them in the comments. Remember, our goal here is to ensure that we are making leadership great again. See you next time.